Hello and welcome once more. You remember the last time we met, we stopped at we checked out the store. We are implementing Redux. So we said that in our app.js, if we want Redux to be seen and we want to implement Redux, we need to wrap up the whole of the parent app with this provider, and it's going to take as a parameter a store, or this property store. And we created this store earlier. If you go to our src, you're going to see store. So we imported several things like the apply middleware, the thunk, and the root reducer. So we declared all this, and this is the basic store. And in order for our application to implement Redux, we need to get to our app.js and wrap it up with the provider which we imported. You can see we imported the provider from the React Redux, which we had earlier installed. So that is basically what we did, and we explained what the provider does as well as the store. So today we are going to be looking at the reducer as well as the action. So whenever you're talking about implementation of Redux, these basic boilerplates are always there. You need to know how to build them. So just like the store, you need to know that this is the basic way to build the store, and you need to know that once after building the store, that for your app to implement Redux, you need to wrap everything up with this provider, taking this store here. It's very, very important. So but actually what is going to be working on our state is the reducer, and the reducer is going to be able to do this because of the action that has been fired off. So we're going to be looking at the reducer. You can see the reducer folder and the action folder. So once you get to the reducer folder, you're going to see the root reducer, which is the index.js inside it. Then you're going to have reducers for the article and every other thing, that any type of action that looks to the state. So in this root reducer, we're going to be having the combined reducer, where we have all the reducers that we have, the auth and every other thing. All of them are going to be imported here. So we can now combine them depending on what we have. I'm still going to add article to this combined reducer. So now when you now get to the separate reducers, then you know what they do. So once any action is fired off, is this reducer that will actually work on the state and make such state modification and send it back to the component that needs it. So this reducer is for article actually. So it's going to get a lot of the other things that it will work with, and it's going to be getting them from the actions, which I'm going to open now and explain to you. So it's gonna initializing the initial state and doing a whole lot of things. Most of the things that you're going to be doing will be on this reducer. So it's going to be doing the work of deleting and every other thing. Now if you get to the actions, you can have the types for the basic things that could be done in the application. But now when you get to them one by one, like when you get to the article action, this is where you're going to contact the fetch API. So I'm going to be replacing this with our normal fetch API. You're going to be replacing this with the API that you had earlier created in your backend. So that is actually what happens. You remember that I installed Axios, but we are instructed to use fetch, basic fetch API from Node.js. So this is how it should be written. So you have to take note of how these boilerplates are built upon. Redux can be discouraging at some point, but once you understand these three basic things that I just explained, first of all is the store, secondly is wrapping up your app in reducer, then thirdly is noting this action, and you know that all the components are going to have their action, provided there is state change in any of those components, they are going to have their own actions, as well as this action is going to fire off something which the reducer is going to now work on. So you can see that most things that we have under actions, we have under reducers. But remember that we have the rate reducer, the index.js, where you combine the whole reducer, and we also have the type.js, where you also reference the whole types. You can see all the types we are just listed here. So those are the 4 components of every Redux implementation. You talk about the store, the provider, the actions, and the reducers. And always make sure that you know that whenever you want to implement the API that you've done in your backend, it has to be done in the actions. So each of the components that needs state change has to have its own actions, and for articles this is what it is. So you replace this API call to the backend API that you had earlier designed. So these are some of the things that I'll be doing. I just try to explain them now so that when I push the code, once you get to the GitHub and check it out, you will understand how it works. So those are basically what we need to know. Using Redux, you need to use a whole lot of boilerplates, and those are the way that they've been designed. So you better have to just look through them and understand them. Please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button immediately. Click on the bell icon so that whenever I push any video, you'll be the first to know. Always give my videos thumbs up if you think they are good enough for you. Like and share them as well. From Monday, I'm going to be releasing some likely coding interview questions, which might help you in your preparation to any coding interview that you would want to go for in future. Thank you, and God bless you.